Welcome back to Pemberley Farm. Well, this morning we are canning chicken broth. If you have just arrived here at our channel, I'll have Ashley put a link in the description to go back and watch where we canned chicken. Well, this is the broth from the par cooking of that chicken, plus we took the bones that the meat had come off of and we cooked down the bones for 2 days. And so this is a combination of bone broth and just the chicken broth from the meat. And so we're canning that today. We had almost 2 gallons of it. And so we're going to pressure can that today. You pressure can chicken broth if you're doing it in quarts for 25 minutes. Now, as far as what pressure it is, whether it's 10, 5, 10, 15, that depends on your altitude and where you live. So always look at the Ball Canning book or other canning books that are reputable so that you know at what pressure to can your chicken broth or anything else that you do that has to be pressure canned. So that's what we're doing this morning. All right, this is our chicken broth, and you'll notice that it's got a lot of floaties even though we strained it up in a fairly fine sieve. But there's too many floaties in here for me. I want the broth to be more clear than that. So as I dip it up and put it in the jars, when we get over to the jars, you will see that we have cheesecloth on the funnel, on the canning funnel. So that's what we're doing to get some of the floaties out. I just, you know, your mileage may vary. If you wanted the floaties, that's up to you, but I don't want the floaties in there. I wanted it to be a more clear broth. And so that's what we're doing this morning. The water in the canner is hot, and we're about to bring this over and jar it up. Okay, so we've brought the pot of very hot chicken broth over here because it's easier for you to see, it's easier for me to dip than over there in the corner. So that's what we're going to do. You see I've got my cheesecloth on my canning funnel. And I found it out the hard way over the years. You need to clip it. I probably need some of those binder clips, but this is what I had over here. Then we have our lids and rings in hot water. We have a bowl with white vinegar in it that we're going to use to wipe the rims of the jars because this is greasy. It's not, you know, real fatty, but it is greasy because it's animal broth. And so it will, you don't want the grease between the rim or the edge of your jar and your lid. You want it a good seal, and so that's why you clean, especially things that have that are greasy, with white vinegar. All right, so we're going to start this. We're just gonna, I've got all manner of different sizes and configurations of ladles. I mean, huge ones, little ones, all different kinds of configurations. But half the time, for about the last year, half the time I just reach for the glass cup. It's just easier. All right, I got that one a little bit full, but I'll take care of it when I'll get a spoon and get some of that out when I start to clean them up. Okay, we got it all put in the jars, and isn't it pretty? I'm just telling you, I'm glad that we used the cheesecloth because there was a lot of crumbs, you might say, in there. And so anyway, that's what we did. It will be a beautiful clear broth, or semi-clear broth, and it will be very yummy. So now what we're going to do is put it over in the pressure canner and turn the fire up. So we're putting our lid on. Line up the arrow with the groove here. That's what, because this is an All-American, that's how we do it. Then we're going to tighten down our toggles. And then I'm going to turn up the fire because it's kind of on low. That chicken broth was cold when I put it in here in the stock pot, and I turned this on at the same time, so it took the chicken broth a lot longer to warm up than it did this pot. So anyway, so now what we're waiting for, I've turned it up. I'm waiting now for steam to start coming out of here. I will time it for 10 minutes, and when that 10 minutes is up, then I will put the weight on 10, on the number 10 that's on the weight. Again, this is an All-American, so you have to see what yours does, you know, what your brand calls for. And also depending on where you are in elevation. We are not far above sea level, so it's 10 for us. All right, we'll be back. Welcome back. All right, our broth is done, and once again, night has come upon us, and Ashley and the girls had to leave. And so we're taking our broth out now. I'll tell you, we didn't talk about the jar lifters, but if you don't have a jar lifter for canning, you really do need to get one. It helps an awful lot. So what we're doing is we're taking our pretty broth out, okay? Just going to sit it over here, and we're going to let it sit for 24 hours before we mess with it. Actually, they all have already sealed, which is a good thing. I like that. So as I finish taking the rest of these out, or before I do, I just want to thank you for watching and coming along on our journey here at Pemberley Farm. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share our videos. And don't forget to go to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and like us at Pemberley Farm Homestead. Thank you again for watching, and God bless you from Pemberley Farm.